Basically, here I am not a dean. Now I am just your resource person. Good afternoon to all our faculty who are the resource person, and very important is the all these great listeners from these 3 days, and this listening will be converted into action from tomorrow. So this is the last session, I think so. After that, valedictory will there, but don't feel that you are released. It is the work in progress like PWD. It never stops. It goes again and again. So here are three categories. Some are teachers, some are guide, some are mentors. First, I want to ask the question to the teacher, just few mythological or historical point. What is mentor? Actually, the mentor was the name of the person from the Greek. He was the son of the Alchemo, and he was a friend of king of Ithaca, Odius. When there was a Trojan war, then he has called his friend mentor to give the advice to his son Telemus regarding the war. So mentor was the physical person whom we are following it. We are the science student, but mentoring is the really art. It is not the 1+1. Every time, every situation, every day, every hour, it changes. It is not the 30 minutes or 40 minutes lecture that will completely be thorough with the mentoring. It is not. Every case, like our director always say, for administration, every day teaches different thing. And this is my real experience in the last 7 days. As a faculty in the department, we are always protected by the head of the department or a dean or a principal. We bring that issue to the dean and it is his business. But as an administrator, it is very, very difficult to solve these problems. And just I have finished one NMC hearing of that same type of a case, and it is really challenging to us. So it is the art how you tackle the situation. That's why one important thing required for this administration or a mentor, you should be very, very cool. Not always, sometimes you should be very firm. As per definition, mentoring is the offline help by one person to another in making significant transition in knowledge or a thinking. This is just small definition. Don't go by word because the area is very vast. Aim of this mentoring is to help and support people to manage their own learning in order to maximize his potential, develop and improvise his skill, and improve their performance along with a person or a mentee, whatever he wants to be. These three words are very important in this my lecture. First is mentorship. Just I have brief you. It is the patronage, influence, guidance and direction. It is a someone who teaches or gives help and advice to less experienced and often younger person. It may not be younger person. You can be mentor of the senior person also. Mentee who receives the guidance and support from more experienced and knowledgeable person. So at the end of my session, alternate table, I want 5 points to be written that when you become the mentee, when you become the mentor, what is your expectation? So alternatively, mentor, mentee, mentor, mentee, mentor, mentee, you will write your expectation at the end of my lecture. This is the dictionary meaning of this mentorship program. Very important question. Can you identify your mentor? And if you identify proper mentor, you will be a very successful person in your job, in your life. And it is really very difficult to find a good mentor. But now I can reverse this sentence by my own experience. It is very difficult to find a good mentee. And it is really challenging to every teacher, especially those who are senior professor. Andure sir is there, Jadhav madam is there, Khare sir is there. They are a senior person. Now it is challenging after the COVID. So, who took interest in your welfare and growth at a time when you need? This is very important. There are so many people who give advice to you free of cost, especially in India, on each and every topic. Whether they are expert, Sharad has told they should be experienced or not. But in India, free advice is very easily available, but that should be proper. That mentor should recover your hidden talent, and he should be your role model. Really speaking, in today's era, to get the role model is very, very difficult. That's why many people's young generation is moving and ultimately they are taking the help of this social media. And all of are in the parental age group. So you know the disadvantage of the social media. They are totally wrong direction they are taking our kids. So to find out the role model is very difficult. That's why we always say that every time in the community there are 100 Kauravas, 5 Pandavas, and very difficult to find one Krishnas. Just I asked this question about the teacher and mentoring. Really, though not sharp demarcation in between teacher, guide, or mentor, but this is the small example of the mentoring and coaching, what we call as a teaching. Here is the coaching, that is the teaching. Here is the mentoring. Same it is given in coaching or teaching and mentoring. Teaching is a short term, whereas mentoring is a long term. Teaching is always structured. Suppose I am teaching the growth and development in the pediatrics. My 30-40 minutes lecture is already on the PPT. I have mug up so long times. I am teaching this thing. There is no problem of looking towards the PPT also. So it is structured. There are definitions we have to tell. Growth and development, there is nothing new. But mentoring is unstructured. Whatever things is coming in front of you, that you are also unaware of that thing. Third thing, questioning. As a teacher, we feel that it is our right to ask the question to the student. And though the NMC is telling that last 10 minutes should be question answer session, but I know how many of us are permitting or we have time to that, and many times we skip that session. So giving the answer to the student, today's era is very difficult because they are gathering the information from various sources, especially Google, LinkedIn, SlideShare. There are n number of sources. That's why we are telling that this era is of tsunami of knowledge. N number of information you are getting. Really, it is tsunami. Teaching is goal setting and it is done by teacher and student. But here in mentoring, it is totally determined by mentee only. You can't impose your own views or own ideas to the mentee. Whatever problem he has or she has, you have to solve it. That goal you have to solve. Teaching focus specific and measurable goal. I want to give the growth or a development or a malnutrition. That goal is measurable. But here we are focusing on the mentees, not only academic, but 360-degree development and growth. There are two models of the mentoring. If you find on the Google, there are n number of models depending on the sector which you are working. If you are in the academics, if you are in the corporate sector, if you are in the government sector, situational various models are there. This is the traditional model where the mentor share his knowledge and experience to the mentee depending on his professional journey. So these are the things which you have to focus on this traditional model. Sponsor, mold in his image, protects and promotes of all his ideas of the mentee in the new development. This is also called as Godfather model. This is a near about one-way discussion in this model. This is the equal model which firstly made by the Julie Hay, who has described the relation between mentor and mentee should be two-way, that is the equal. Both will share their ideas that will be beneficial to mentor as well as mentee. So mentor coaches him, builds the image of the mentee, clarifies all his doubts and facilitates his development. This is difference between these two old and new model. First we see the old model where the mentor selects the mentee. One mentor is selected, one and one only. Career oriented mostly it occurs in the teaching institutes. One-way communication, I have told, mentor teaches all the things to the mentee. As told, young faculty, hierarchical, and it is long-term relation. But this is very important new model. Here the mentee comes to the mentor and he asks his problem, he wants his wants his solution on the various problems he has come, he can take the multiple mentors. There is no need that only one mentor should be there. He can be exposed to multiple mentors. He may be in the group or a single. And very important in this is the reciprocal learning. Both mentor and mentee will be benefited from this type of model. This is the cycle of this mentorship. First important thing in mentorship is the building rapport with the students, rapport with the mentee. If you are sitting on one side of the table and mentee is on the other side of table, there is a gap of that table, so that mentee will not be exposed with you. That's why it is very difficult to break that distance of the one table. So you should be very, very friendly with your mentee.